Hello boys and girls, Mrs. Gifford here. Today we are going to talk about our A string notes. So far we've learned all of our notes on the D string. At this point in our playing, and probably for another couple of months or so, we're only going to be focusing on the D string and the A string. So if you hear me say the G note, I mean the note on the D string because we're not playing any of our other strings. We're not playing our C string, violoncello, we're not playing our G string, we're not playing our E string. We're strictly just working on the D and the A strings. So a quick recap of our D string notes. The open string is D. One finger curled down on the D string is the E note. Two fingers curled down on the D string is F sharp. Three fingers curled down on the D string is the G note. Notice, boys and girls, that my wrist is staying straight, right? I'm keeping a space between my wrist and the neck of the instrument. We don't want to collapse our wrist into the instrument. We want to keep it nice and straight, okay? We're curling our fingers, really curling them to get on the very tops of our fingers. And we're also keeping our thumb straight up, really right across from our pointer finger. It's not too high, it's not tucked underneath, it's resting right on the side. I'm also always leaving my pinky rested above. Fancy pinky, don't tuck your pinky or your other fingers below the neck. That's important, that'll really restrict your hand. As always, make sure you're playing with good posture, your instrument is up nice and high, you're not leaning on anything. So those were our D string notes. Cellos, you're very similar. You have the open D string. One finger down on the D string is E. The middle finger just rests in between cellos. Your third finger now is going to go down on the second tape on the D string. And fourth finger will rest down on the third tape. That's the G note for cellos. F sharp is three fingers down, and E is one. So that was the finger pattern just for cellos. So now our A string notes. The open string is A, and this is pretty cool. Watch this. The open string is A. What comes after A in the alphabet? B. One finger down on the A string is B. One finger, that goes for violin, viola, and cello. Two fingers down, what's after B in the alphabet? C. Two fingers down on the A string is C sharp. That's three fingers for you cellos. You would have three fingers. And our last note, what comes after C in the alphabet? D, is high D. I call this one high D because it sounds higher than open D. It sounds much higher. And it also appears higher up in the staff. You'll notice in your music that high D is much higher on those lines and spaces than the open D string. So a quick recap. The open string is A. One finger down is B. Two fingers down is C sharp. Three fingers down is high D. Now we're able to play something called the D major scale. Scales are basic building blocks of every song that's ever been written. They're a really important thing in our playing. They're an important thing to practice and an important thing to get better with. So the D major scale starts on the open D string. You can play it however many times you want per note. Today I'm going to do just 2 times per note for time. So it starts with open D, then E, F sharp, now G, open A, then B, C sharp next, last is high D. That's our D major scale. That's something that's important that you're practicing and working hard on. My friends, these were the A string notes. I hope this was helpful for you. If you ever have any questions, you can always let me know. Have an awesome day.